In today's live, I wanted to talk about softness is power. Majority of the time, as an introvert, as I'm learning being here in Ghana and traveling around the world, is that many people assume that being strong and being in an a leader that has authority means that you have to speak louder than everybody else. It means that you have to be more in control. You have to sound more, sometimes more aggressive and more empowered for what you do. And that's not always the case. So today I really want to talk to you about softness is power and the reason why I believe that softness is power. Hi guys, my name is Matty. Welcome to the live stream today. This is my No Shrinking Diary, and on this live stream, I get to speak to you about my journey through Ghana, learning about being an introverted CEO, entrepreneur, living out here, overcoming different things, and also how to handle different situations as an entrepreneur. Yeah. You have probably been told softness is weakness. You're too naive. You're too nice. If that's you, let me know in a comment. I would love to know. I know a lot of introverts who are often told they're too nice, they're being too naive, and that doesn't work for them. Okay, so today I want to talk to you about this. But first, I've been thinking about this for a while. A lot of you who follow me must know that most people call me the Sunshine CEO because my middle name is Angel of the Sunshine, and I bring a lot of positivity to my followers. And I've been thinking about giving you guys a name, and I've been thinking about calling you guys the Sunflowers because you guys are the reason why I want to improve and really better other introverts who are watching me. How you doing, Summer Sunset? Really good to see you. So here is the three things that I want you to think about. Today I want you to put in the comment any question that you might have when it comes to how to speak up for yourself as a softly spoken entrepreneur, how to speak up for yourself as a quiet introvert. What are the things that people always tell you? Do people say to you, you're being too nice? Do people say to you, you are too kind and you are not strong enough? Your softness is a sign of weakness. Hello Saeed, how you doing? What do people say to you when they look at you as an introverted leader, as an introverted entrepreneur? Yeah, I've had a lot of those difficulties growing up. As I said to you, I was often told that you're too nice, you're too this, and you need to be stronger. The funny thing is, there's nothing wrong being quieter or being softer as a leader. Everybody has a different way of leading. You can walk into a room and have a certain amount of presence. Presence is trusting yourself. Presence is also connecting with people and giving them a reason to trust and believe in you. That is what presence is. Presence has nothing to do with being the loudest person in the room, because often the loudest person in the room is the most insecure. Put this in the comment if you agree. Yep, the loudest person in the room can often be the most insecure. It is better to be confident and not mean. It is better to be confident and assertive, using that assertive voice without disrespecting the other person. And sometimes people are under the misconception that when you speak to other people, you've got to be aggressive to make a point, especially for those people who don't listen. Okay? I'm going to show you how you can reclaim your authentic voice. Now, being someone that has lived both in the UK and in France and in different parts of the world, and now living and moving around in Ghana, in Africa, I've seen how people treat you differently. And when I say treat you differently, I'm talking about myself. They treat me differently because, number one, I'm not originally from here. I am African, I am from the continent, but I am not originally Ghanaian. And sometimes people are under the impression that not being fully Ghanaian means that they can use your kind of openness. Now, being open does not mean that you're weak, yeah, or being polite, basically. And it's an actual confusion because when you try to explain that to people, you're not going to win the war. Trust me, you don't need to try harder. You just need to be more calm. So there are three areas where you have to learn to reclaim that authority, because people will come up to you, especially people come up to me a lot of the times, and they'll say, "Can you help me?" And I'll say, "Why do you think you can ask me for help? What's the reason?" Like most of the time, I'm very empathetic. So if I do feel like I need to help someone, I will. But you cannot help the whole country. Like, you cannot take the responsibilities of everybody else. So the number one thing you have to do, and what I'm learning here whilst traveling, is you always have to put yourself first. Number one is you. You've got to put yourself first. Because if you don't put yourself first, then people are going to take advantage of you giving. There's nothing wrong with you saying, "No, sorry, I can't." Even if you see someone that might be struggling on the streets or anything like that, at the end of the day, you decide who you want to be kind to, as in helping. I'm not saying being mean, I'm being able to help. You cannot help the whole world. That is not your job. That is the power of God to do that. That is something else, right? You do not have to be the person responsible for all these things. So, how you express yourself is how people will treat you. For me, I usually say, "No, sorry, today I can't." And I'll say it twice. And then by the next time, I'll just walk away. And that's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. No one's going to come after you. No one's going to run after you. And if they do, you just continue. You just continue. And there is a way you can apply a lot of these things in everyday life. And I say that we have to learn as introverts to apply these things in areas such as authority, as in work wise. We have to learn how to apply these things in relationship and also in visibility. Yeah. Okay, I can see your comment there. It's hard not to give to people who don't have anyone to count on, especially if they are family members or friends. You know what? The fourth horseman, you are right. That is a very, very true thing. But here's the thing. Here's really the philosophy of softness is power. Now, the first thing about softness is power is you have to make sure that you are number one. You have to be able to take care of yourself first. You cannot give to other people if you can't give to yourself, even if it's family. Don't get me wrong, I have 9 brothers and sisters. I come from a big family. But I want to give you this advice so you can practice this, yeah? I practice it on myself, which is why I'm giving it to you. So, when you come from a big family and you have lots and lots of siblings, cousins, etc., you've got to learn to put number one first. Who's number one? You. Say me in the chat. Let me see you say me in the chat, as in you. Yes, you are number one. You put yourself first and you stick to it. If you have, say for example, £20 or $20 and someone says, "Can I have £20?" And that's the only thing you have left. Yeah? Even if your sibling is in need, you cannot give that whole £20. Yeah? You can give, I'll say £5 or $5, which will help. Yeah? You can give a certain amount of money that will still leave you with something. Don't be mean, whoever you are. Don't be mean. And that will definitely help you. Yeah? Okay. So that's what I would do if I was you. Yeah, that's the first thing. Give something that you can give. If you can't give of that, then don't give it away. Does that help? So start with that. Always make sure that you have something for yourself, because the only time you are able to retain that softness and that power is if you look after yourself first. You respect yourself first. It's like anything, any person that you meet in the street, any person that is a complete stranger, you have to learn to look after yourself first. Yeah? Members of families and friends included. Okay? Yes. What you want to do is you want to learn to love that number one person. Many people, okay, many people who are, what's the word? I'll say introverts, and sometimes not very secure about themselves. What happens is that they will, what's the word? So yes, many people who are not secure about themselves will put everybody first before they put themselves, and then they will find themselves in difficult situation. Many people that do not trust themselves enough tend to put themselves down. Now remember, just because you're an introvert, just because you're a quiet leader, doesn't mean that you have to fall under those things. There are people who are very, very loud and they are more insecure than you are. You've got to learn to trust yourself first. You've got to learn to love yourself first. You've got to learn to not self-deprecate, not put yourself down. Yeah? You are important. Remember that. As I said, when I was a kid, I remember I was always told, don't say too much, don't share your feelings, don't be too loud, don't do this, just make sure you're as quiet as a mouse, that we can't see you. And it became a big problem because even though my parents loved me, my family loved me, but some of the things they said kind of did not allow me to really express myself, being an introvert. So it kind of held a lot of things back. So when I wanted to perhaps share an opinion, I didn't feel like I could. And that pattern continued. And it taught other people to treat me a certain way. Yeah? So that's the other thing about softness in power. We put ourselves first. Yeah? We respect ourselves. Yeah? That's really, really important. And we teach people how to treat us. We teach people how to treat us. I was raised the same way. I grew up with deep depression. I hear you. I really hear you for that. I totally hear you. Yeah, it's taken me a long time to improve these areas. I'm 46. Yeah, I'm 46. It's taken me a long time to improve these areas, and I'm still learning. Even though I'm a coach, I'm an expert, and I help other introverts, other quiet leaders to really embrace their strength. I'm always learning. I learn from my clients, I learn from my followers, I learn from people like you. And I really appreciate you sharing that. Yeah. So as I said, we put ourselves first. Yeah. We do not disrespect ourselves. Okay. And we teach people how to treat us. Because if you keep saying yes when you need to say no, people will keep treating you a certain way. So as I said, when I travel here in Ghana and I move around and I see so many people struggling, I can only give to one or two people. I I cannot give to 5 people behind me begging me for food. I can't do that. It's impossible. I don't have the answers to solve everybody's problem. Yeah. So that's one thing that you've got to remember. Make sure that you teach people how to treat yourself. Okay? Remember, the loudest people are sometimes the one with less confidence. Big ego, big mouths, loud speakerphone doesn't mean that they're very, very confident. It could just mean that they're not. Okay. So the thing I understand that, as you said, you shared something about depression. I tend to find that having someone that has dealt with depression, oh, you're 46 too, mental therapy wasn't a thing when we grew up. Yeah, I totally understand that. Yeah, I know what you mean. So one of the things that I realized growing up and holding things back is that the more you hold on to things without sharing it with people, without being direct in your own way, first of all, the more you will explode. You're gonna accumulate. It's like, this is a bottle of water, but if it was a bottle of Coke, if you keep shaking it and you open it, it just blows up. That's how your emotions react when you don't share them. Same thing with you. Like, you have to learn to practice this slowly with people. You have to learn to do it regularly so that other people learn how to treat you the way you want them to treat you. Many people assume that they can treat people any way, that there are no boundaries. Every human being needs boundaries and direction and how to operate with different people. What you're doing when you're moving on your softness is power. You're learning to find your assertive voice, your strength, the way that you speak, the way that you direct people. You're giving them guidelines. I don't do this. This is what I do. Okay? This is how I do things. And I'm encouraging you and I'm inviting you to treat me this way. Now, when you start to practice this and be more open, I don't know what your level of depression is. I've had depression as well before, but the more you start to do that, the less you'll be holding on to things, and the less you'll be kind of oppressing yourself, because depression can also be a form of personal oppression because it comes from what other people have told us and what other people continually say to us, and how we continue to internalize things way after people have said things to us. So as I said, when some of my family members used to say, don't say this, don't be loud, you speak too much, you speak to this, I started to internalize and being depressed and realizing that being different wasn't good, and I wanted to be louder because I didn't feel like people were listening to me and hearing me. Yeah. So those are the things I would encourage you to do. And also, please do see a therapist. I've seen a therapist. I see therapists whenever I need one. Do see a good therapist. You can start with, I think BetterHelp is really good place to start as well. It's quite affordable as well. But do speak to someone that will help you, to guide you how to deal with the depression. I don't deal with that stuff. I help people more on how they can literally express themselves. Yeah? Okay. When I share my true feelings, people treat me like I'm wrong for putting myself interest first. It really enrages me. Oh my God. I hear you. I totally hear you. I totally hear you. I'm going to answer that. Give me 1 second. Yeah? So, as I said before, many people will tell quiet leaders or quiet people that they are not able to openly share their voice. And you have to learn to retrain yourself. You've got to learn to change those thinking, the things that people have said to you. Yeah, you really have to learn to do that. It's self-love. It's putting yourself first, remember? Yeah, that's the most important thing. So how can you start sharing your true feelings? What you could do when you want to share your true feelings is you can also write it down on paper. Writing things down on paper, I have my diary here. I've had so many types of diaries. And whenever I really want to say something to somebody and I'm in so much rage, I'm so angry and I really want to say something, I write everything down first. Like I write down, oh, this is how you make me feel, blah 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 blah, da 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 da. And then I find ways to say this to the person. Yeah. I'll give you an example of how I express my boundaries to people. And I call it the 3 steps. I haven't given it a name yet, but I call it the 3 steps. And the thing that I say to people is the first thing I say is to improve my boundaries. I'll choose something that I don't like. And I'll say to the person, I'll say, I didn't like that when you touched my hair, or I didn't like that when you closed the door. That wasn't very cool. That wasn't very nice. And I say it exactly like this, very calm, very quietly, because that's the first level. The second time I will say, John, I told you that closing the door this way makes me upset. Don't do it again. Or, John, I told you not to touch my hair. It makes me feel uncomfortable. As you can see, I'm not raising my voice, but I'm changing the tonality of my voice. And when I'm speaking, I'm pausing, I'm taking my time. Why? Because that has more impact. Many people think that if you speak fast, I don't like this, this is not fair. People are gonna get the message, but actually, it sounds really combative. The slower you speak, the more impact it has on the people that are listening to you. So try it next time. First of all, say to them, whatever you said, I don't like when you do that. Makes me feel uncomfortable and it's not cool. Second thing you can say is, this is the second step, is John, call them by their name. John, I don't know who John is, I'm just making it up. John, I really don't like when you touch my hair. It makes me feel uncomfortable. And I am speaking with all of my emotion. There's a lot of it. My tonality is changing. Yeah? So that's really one thing that you can do. The last step, the third step, is you take action. You just walk away. You block and you move. You walk away. You take action, because you have to show people that when you say something, there is consequences to what you say. When you say something, there are boundaries to what people need to do and what need people to say. Yeah? So that is the honest truth. That's the 3 steps I would encourage you to practice. Try it. Try at home. Try, that makes me feel uncomfortable. John, I don't really like that. And third step is just move. Take action. Remove yourself from the environment. Physically block the person. Stop engaging in communication completely for that time if you want them to get the message. Yeah? So, I'm so jealous of people who naturally share their feelings and don't care what anyone thinks. Wow. You know, even the people who can share those feelings, it just takes time on practicing this. Like, I am more confident in how I share my feelings and my opinion because I've learned to practice them. So I want you to think about this because you can learn to practice this in every single areas of your life. You can practice this in the authority room, the rooms of your work life, the boardroom, your managers, the people that you work with. You can practice in relationship, like friendship, family, romantic relationship. And you can practice this when you want to be more visible when it comes to maybe launching yourself or presenting yourself online or in like big presentation where you want to be seen. The way you do this is you have to start practicing it in every single areas. Yeah. The areas, for example, I remember a couple of years ago, actually last year, I had a very big operation, and I, for 5 years, I had a fibroid, which was like a serious, really big operation, very big. And every time I went to the doctors, they just dismissed me. They dismissed me so many times. And in the beginning, I thought, oh, they're doctors, they know what they're doing. But I was in pain. I was in so much pain, and I had to speak up. I could not stay silent because me being silent means me being in pain, in a lot of pain, and me not being able to work, me not being able to focus, and not being able to achieve my next step. So I had to do the research, write things down, say things on paper, and really say to my doctors, I don't think you're listening. I've spoken to this doctor and that doctor, and from what you've explained to me, this doesn't work. It's not the full facts. And I had to learn to do that. And as much as you envy those people who speak naturally, the truth is they practice. We all practice. Even the best speaker in the world has to practice how they come across. They have to practice how they express themselves. And that's the truth. If you start practicing a bit more of this every day, I guarantee you, you will be able to reclaim the authority room, as in the workplace. You'll be able to play the authority room if you're dealing with governmental things or health issues. You'll be able to reclaim your relationships and family, the way people treat you, the way people talk to you, and you'll be able to reclaim the way you present yourself to other people. You'll be less afraid to present yourself in a way that makes sense to you. Yeah. And so I really encourage you to, first of all, as we said in the beginning, put number one first. Yeah. Learn to respect your own values, respect yourself. Don't put yourself down. Don't put yourself down. Regardless of what other people have said to you, regardless of what people have done in the past, do not put yourself down. Put yourself first. Teach people how to treat you. You tell them you need to give them boundaries. This is how people treat me. When people want to go over the boundary, you say, just 1 second. I don't do this type of conversation. As we said, the 3 steps, that makes me feel uncomfortable. Please don't do this again. Next step, John, I really don't like this with this tonality. Yeah. Third, remove yourself from the whole situation, the environment. Physically remove yourself. Whether you stop communication, whether you remove yourself physically, just remove yourself from the whole situation. That is how you teach people to respect you. You teach people how to treat you, to speak to you, and that's how you take back ownership of your softness and your power. Because, as we said, Not everyone that is loud is self-assured. Not everyone that has a big ego that screams at the top of their voice is self-confident. In fact, some of the loudest people have lack of confidence and self-esteem because they are trying to be louder than you. They feel like they need to be in competition with you. And you don't need to do that. You need to stay calm, hold your ground. Yeah? I hope this is helping, and I hope this is like helping you to kind of think of how you speak to people, think of how you allow other people to speak to you. And I hope that it's really kind of allowing you to see that you can apply this to all areas of your life, your work life, the authority rooms, the relationship room, and the visibility room. Yes. So by setting boundaries, I guess one should prepare to lose some relationship. Yeah, sometimes, yeah. Some people only like you until you speak up for yourself. Yes, it's true. It's absolutely true. By setting boundaries, you are preparing people. You're preparing. Like, not everybody, the truth is, not everybody's going to like you. Yeah? Not everybody's going to appreciate you. In fact, like most of us, like me as an introvert, I don't like confrontation. And yes, I own it. I used to be a people pleaser. Like I was. But I realized that if I have to please people, I have to please myself first. Remember, the number one rule is put yourself first. And if you are not happy, then you cannot make other people happy. It's like I said, if someone asks you, your friend, your family, your brother, for £20 or $20, and that's all you have, then you can only give 5, right? Because you need the other 15 until you get more. So yes, sometimes you are going to see people's true colors. Sometimes it doesn't mean that you're going to lose relationship. You might do, or there will be friction. There might be a situation where they're resisting the new you. They're resisting the change in you. That's not a bad thing. That is a good thing. And you need to sit with that uncomfortableness, because you sitting with the uncomfortableness is helping you to grow into a strong leader. It's helping you to grow into a strong introverted leader. That's powerful. And it's helping you to build your communication to a level that you didn't have before. And that no one can give you that. You have to learn to sit in that uncomfortableness, whether people like you or not. You've got to be willing to be the person who's disliked. There's a book, I need to get it actually. A friend recommended it. I think it's called How to Embrace Being Disliked. When I find it next time, I will share it in the video so you guys can see it. But yes, it's a really good book. It's really learning how to be disliked. Like, if people don't like you for who you are, it's okay, because there's other people like myself who will appreciate you for sharing your honest opinion, for standing up for yourself. Yeah? Remember, think of that little girl, that little guy, your little version of you. You are helping that little version of you. You're protecting that little version of you. And you're showing and teaching the world that this is how you have to treat me. Remember, softness is not weakness. Softness is power. And if you can say these things to people without getting angry, without raising your voice, you change your tonality and you take action, people will start treating you so much better. You will start receiving opportunities that you didn't expect. You'll start trusting yourself more, being more assured of yourself, and eventually over time, Even if you're still struggling with things like depression and other things like that, you're getting better at communicating. And when you communicate better with other people, you start to appreciate yourself. Yeah? So I hope that really helped. Okay. So guys, here's one thing I'm gonna recommend to you guys. There is a tool that I've created called the Shine Compass, and it helps you to think about which areas of your life you need to improve, whether it's your personal communication at work, whether it's your presentation, whether it's how you speak to people, whether it's your assertiveness. I have a Shine Compass. And it should be in my bio. If you do see it in my bio, please go drop a link. But what I'll do is I'll put it in the comment after the video is posted so that you guys can see it. The other way that you can also get access to it, make sure that you follow me and that you subscribe, because I do share a lot of this stuff to empower introverts and shy and quiet leaders to stop shrinking and embrace their authentic voice and their authentic self. Okay? Yes, softness is calm, control communication. Yes, this is Sapphire. Absolutely. So, guys, if you want to know more about how you can actually understand your communication, make sure that you grab the Shine Compass. If it's not in this link, it's in the last video, but I will make sure that I'll put it in the description.